There are so many amazing acting performances throughout the history of cinema that have been underrated and underappreciated. Let's break down, in our opinion, the most underrated acting performances of all time. What's up, movie friends? We have an amazing list of fantastic performances from legendary actors and lesser-known actors that we think are some of the best of the last several decades, but you're not going to see them on many top acting lists. You're not going to see them on many social media posts. These actors were not nominated for Academy Awards, but we believe this is some of the best work in acting of the last several decades of film. We're talking about Melanie Laurent, Oscar Isaac, Rebecca Hall, John Malkovich, Mickey Rourke, Rebecca Ferguson, Simon Rex. There's a Christian Bale in here, Bradley Cooper, Anthony Mackie. There's so many great, amazing actors on this. We're going to dive in and give you what we think are some of the most underappreciated roles ever. Underrated performances. Oh, obviously, we have Oscar-winning and Oscar-nominated performers here, but we're talking about specific roles in their careers that fly under the radar. They're underrated, and I want to start off strong.
Yes.
With one of my all-time favorite movies, one of the best horror movies ever made from Stanley Kubrick. And we're going to talk about The Shining first because, of course, Jack is incredible in this film, and he's an icon, and he's a legend in this role as Jack Torrance is incredible. But Shelley Duvall, it puts on an equally impressive performance, a very different kind of role, someone who's just been hammered down emotionally and beaten. And Shelley is sensational in this movie, and she's one of the main ingredients that make this movie so incredible and so timeless and iconic.
Now, you added Shelley to this list, and I think it's a great pick because when you think of Scream Queens, she's probably the most iconic and legendary, and I think that term maybe even came about because of her in this film and how much she did. The energy she put into the role was unbelievable. Let's talk about Tom Hardy. I think we all know he's one of the best ever to do it. He's got so many great performances and a huge repertoire of great films. But we think that Tom Hardy's standout performance is one that he got no awards recognition of, but it is finding new life. And that's Bronson. That's Bronson from Nicholas Winding Refn. There's no T in it. It's just Bronson. And we talk about this quite a bit on this show. And in terms of performance and what it means to be an actor, the physicality, the range of emotions, the mentality really disappearing. Tom does it all in this film. And you can't find another role in his filmography that is so immersed in the character. And he really does carry the film. As visually stunning and incredibly well directed it is, it all hinges on Tom Hardy and what he's doing. There's so much great improvisation combined with incredible control. And it's a role where you watch it, and it's one of those, it's a movie role where when you watch him performing, you're just like, there's so much happening inside of that skull. It's terrifying, and it's also exhilarating when you watch it unfold on screen. And I can't think of many roles that are as impressive as this performance.
Interesting choice of words. So much going on inside that skull.
Yeah,
that's
skull.
Pretty fucking morbid way to describe. Like his imagination's running wild.
That's just
inside his skull.
I just want to open it.
I want to open up Barry Keoghan's performance
from
The Killing of a Sacred Deer. How young is he in this movie? In his early 20s?
He was 12.
He's sensational in this Yorgos Lanthimos film that if you've never seen this movie, The Killing of a Sacred Deer, you got to watch it. It's incredible. His character is so eerie and controlled and precise. It's such a fascinating character. Never really seen anything like it before, but the control he has and the presence he brings to cinema and to the screen is palpable and on par as he's going back and forth with one of the greats with Colin Farrell in this movie, consistently in this movie, Nicole Kidman as well. He's just so powerful on camera, and this is an early performance for him, and it's just shocking to see young talent like this at this age putting on a performance this caliber.
In his mannerisms, the way he speaks, I had never seen anything like it before. It's very strange and atypical, and that's one of the things that really makes the role special. And I mean, just his spaghetti monologue and the way he speaks to Colin Farrell, it's just like, you think that he's just like this naive guy, young guy, but he has such sinister intentions. I think it's unbelievable.
Real quick, Anthony, let's talk about this amazing The Running Man poster over my shoulder, brought to us by our friends at movieposters.com. Raiders 10 at checkout from movieposters.com will get you 10% off your order. Also, we have an affiliate link. What's that mean? With the link that we have in the episode description of this show, we'll get a commission of your order. It's a win-win for everyone. You get amazing posters and become great friends with our guys at movieposters.com.
Next up, this is a great pick, James. You threw this on the list.
That's what can I say, Vin?
Melanie Laurent in Inglorious Basterds, playing Shoshana. And this is really, when you think about Inglorious Basterds, so much attention's put on Christoph Waltz, on Brad Pitt, on Michael Fassbender. They all have such great scenes and scenery-chewing dialogue to do. And it's a big ensemble. And even Diane Kruger is outstanding in this film. But I agree with this, that Melanie Laurent did not receive as much and has not received as much recognition for this performance. And this is what made her a star. She blew up because of this film, both in more so in France and also in America. But she's sensational, and she is, in a way, you could look at as the character you empathize the most with in Inglorious Basterds, the person you care about by far more than anyone else, and the emotional core and center of the film. She has the most tragic story, and she also has an incredibly complex transformation into a brutal murderer, deciding to sacrifice herself to kill the most vile, evil people in the world under one roof. It's an incredible transformation and range to go from the little girl, the young girl in the basement, to the murderous force of good in the finale. It's a great range, and you can see the performance, how much she brought to it. Also, she's just got such incredible charm and charisma. I think extremely photogenic, and just I think audiences gravitate to her.
Melanie Laurent's father, did you know, is a voice actor, and he was famous for voicing the French version of The Simpsons' Ned Flanders.
Giggity, giggity. Wait, no.
Ned Flanders,
Ned's
the neighbor.
Thing? What's Ned's thing?
He's just the dorky
No, I know who
neighbor.
he is with the mustache. What's his? He says he has the line.
I can't remember. It's been a long
yeah.
time since I watched The Simpsons. But no, it's really interesting. But I agree. She mostly acts in Europe since Inglorious Basterds in France. She did that movie, was it Beginners?
Yep.
After Inglorious Basterds, which might not have been, in retrospect, the best choice for her post Inglorious, because I bet she could have kind of done anything she wanted.
You haven't seen Now You See Me, bro.
Now You See Me. I have not.
She's the main investigator.
No, but I mean, in terms of like her career in Hollywood, just kind of, she's gone back to Europe.
Yeah. Well, I think I
that's what she wanted.
respect that when actors do that.
Maybe she didn't want to be a Hollywood
like,
actress.
Mads always goes back to Norway.
But Maz is huge in Hollywood, though.
Yeah,
That guy does
he's
a
worked
lot
with every major
like
corp.
you're acting like he doesn't do 5 Hollywood productions a year. To his Hannibal Lecter. Moving on, Michael Fassbender. We talk about him all the time. And whenever we get to gush about his performances in Hunger and Shame, both Steve McQueen films, it's always a bright day for us because he is such an incredible performer. When you look at his career, he's probably, in my opinion, one of, if not the best actors to not have an Academy Award under his belt at this point.
Yeah.
He's that talented. He can do anything, and he's just such a star. But when it comes to, we're talking about Barry Keoghan's screen presence, I think Michael Fassbender commands presence better than anybody else on this list in a lot of ways. He's so powerful. His performances are so raw and controlled at the same time. He can really tap into human emotions like nobody else. He's such a talented guy, and I love watching any movie he's in. But these two movies, Hunger and Shame, if you get a chance, check them out. He goes to great emotional depths in both of them, physical depths in Hunger, especially with the hunger strike.
And it showed these films, because they came out, I think, within 3 years of each other, show his range as not just with emotions, but with accents, with character work. It seems like two different people playing these roles, even though it's Fassbender in both of them. He really can do any kind of accent, I think, and he does a Northern Ireland Irish accent for Hunger because he's a member of the IRA, and then he does a New York accent in Shame. And it's just unbelievable.
I'd like to see him and Steve McQueen work again. They haven't worked together since 12 Years a Slave, but every time they work on a project, they are just such a great pair working together. Like when you get great director-actor combos, no one ever talks about Steve McQueen and Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
They talk about De Niro and Scorsese and Leo, or Coogler, Michael B. Jordan, but I think, these two together, they always create magic.
Absolutely. Next up, we got another legendary actress, Tilda Swinton. who's received Oscar and awards attention and love from many roles. But we think her performance in We Need to Talk About Kevin is really an outlier in her film.
Outlier, Anthony. Say it with me.
Outlander.
Every episode you say outlier, and I'm just like, what is he talking about over there? Outlier. Outlier is not a word.
I'm outlying over there. Okay, I got it. Outlier.
Thank you. God damn.
Anyways, we need to talk about Kevin, which is a very grim film about challenging subject matter. Watch it if you'd like to, if you can handle very, very intense themes. But her performance as a mother trying to pick up the pieces of the devastating events that happen in this film, she's trying to understand what the fuck happened. And she plays it so well where she's just at a loss. And nothing about her life makes sense anymore. The last 15 years, she's just questioning everything she's ever done, every decision she made, every action she took in her family life because it led to ruin. And on top of that, she's dealing with the aftermath of the big event, which has brought on a lot of hatred and negativity towards her from the outside world. It's an unbelievable role, and the performance is so challenging, but she killed it, knocked it out of the park. She has so much power and magnetism on screen, and she really can do anything as an actor. This is an incredible performance.
I don't recommend new mothers watching it.
Definitely not. Definitely not. It's this is a warning. It's an intense movie.
Kevin's fucked up.
Lynn Ramsey makes hard movies to watch.
Oscar Isaac is next on our list. He's so famous now. Can't wait to see him in Frankenstein. But I remember the first time I ever saw him in a role. I'm pretty sure it was Drive.
Yeah.
And I remember watching that in theaters with you. But I remember while watching Drive, and obviously I love that film. It's literally about me. But I was watching it, and I'm like, who is this guy playing Standard Gabriel? He's incredible. He's electric on screen. He's just, you can't take your eyes off him. And he's got so much energy and charisma. And I was so drawn to him as a performer. And then I learned who he was. And since then, he's become such a great star and such a great performer. He's such a talented guy, whether it's singing, guitar playing, acting, he can do everything. And I think that Drive specifically is a role. He's a supporting character. He's got a ton to do throughout the course of the film. He really has this plot point in the middle of that central part of the movie, and beginning and end, he's not really there, but he really makes his performance stand out in the movie. It makes you remember him.
Yeah, and it's a daunting task as an actor because you show up halfway through the film and you have to be great because you Carey Mulligan and Ryan Gosling are your co-stars, and they've sold the world to the audience already, and an hour in, then you're showing up. So I think it was just like I had the same feeling. I remember watching it, just being like, "Who is this guy? He's so interesting on screen, he's so charismatic. He had a great cadence to him, and he really felt like an LA guy. And my God, I think he was just fantastic, and that's why he became a big star. I think he did Born Legacy right after this, and then just catapulted into Star Wars." All right, next up.
Born Legacy.
Yeah.
We don't like to talk about that movie.
No, yeah. But he has a big scene in the opening.
Yeah.
And then that was like a big studio movie that he was in. And then Kathleen Kennedy produced that, and so she talked to him for
I
Force
did not know
Awakens.
she produced Born Legacy.
Yeah. I believe so. I believe that's how it happened.
I can look that up while you do the next one.
Because I read an interview where he talked about JJ and Kathleen talked to him about Force Awakens, and he's like, I don't want to do this because I was killed in the opening of Born Legacy. And Kathleen responded, "Oh yeah, you just did that for us, and it was great." And he's like, "I don't want to be a character that just has an opening scene."
Is this a Disney movie? What? Hold on, I gotta look that up. You keep going though.
I don't know. Maybe she wasn't working for Disney.
So Born Legacy came out
Because she was working for Lucasfilm. That's what brought her into Disney.
No, I know, but
Yeah. Sony? Is Sony?
Born Legacy.
Born Legacy.
She's always been in Lucasfilm. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
In Disney.
Yeah. She's not a producer credit on
But it
that,
could be a
then.
20th century movie, hence why.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
she had some kind of involvement in it. But yeah,
Let's talk about Ben Mendelsohn from the Down Under.
she's not listed as a producer on it.
Damn it.
So you just made that up.
I didn't make it up. Google the interview. I did not make that up. Ben Mendelsohn, one of our favorite Aussies, in The Place Beyond the Pines. He has a lot of great performances, and Animal Kingdom is another great one. But this one, you can single out because of how much he brings to the sequences that he's in. He's obviously incredible with Ryan Gosling. Their chemistry has shown up in multiple films, but he has this really great kind of like happy-go-lucky charm. He's like this affable loser, and definitely someone who shouldn't be a father figure, but in some ways is. It's like a partner father figure because he's much older than Gosling and brings him into the crime world. But I really like him in this role. He feels real. He feels like a real human being.
Feels like a guy you've seen at the gas station 1,000 times.
Exactly, yeah. So I think that he really disappears into the role, and he brings a lot of humor to the film.
Let's talk about Thandie Newton and The Pursuit of Happiness, which is an incredible film, very dramatic and emotional, but she does a great job kind of playing two versions of this character. You know, we get a lot of flashbacks of the hopefulness, the happiness she shares in her life with her husband and her child when things are on the up, and they might sell all of this medical equipment that they've invested in. But then, what are you looking at me like that for?
Kathleen Kennedy was a producer on the Bourne series with her husband's Frank Marshall's company, Kennedy Marshall.
I'm just saying she's not listed on IMDb.
I'm just saying I wasn't talking out my ass.
I never.
The smile you were giving me. Yeah, because you just joked that I made it up.
Exactly. I'm
just happy that I know. I have to defend myself to the masses.
I'm happy for you.
Kathleen Kennedy served as a producer on the Bourne movies.
That's interesting because they're Universal films.
But at Kennedy Marshall, their production company, produced the film.
So they were producing stuff outside.
And
of
so the big company is the distributor. So they produced it with whoever bought the rights to Bourne.
Universal.
Yeah,
they've had the film.
So yeah, it was a.
Anyways, back to Thandie in Pursuit of Happiness. Like I said, she does a great job with the flashbacks, with the hopefulness of this life that her and Will Smith's character are going to build with their family, and they're going to be so successful, and they have a new home and everything. But then she does a great job where she's the exact opposite for the rest of the film. She's lost hope. She's lost the will to continue on the relationship and the family. And it's never easy, I'm assuming, to be a performer and being a character that abandons a child, because you have to go through immense depth and range to be able to pull that out, I think, and sell it to the audience. And she really delivers in the movie.
It's a character that, like, it's hard to get an audience to like your character because you're deciding not to be a part of it. You're leaving a family. So that's absolutely right. It's a difficult role to pull off, but she sells it because of how difficult and how problematic the relationship was, and losing hope is a great way to talk about that character. Someone who's lost so much, and she's lost her will to be a mom and her will to be a partner in a relationship anymore. And people go through this. It's not. I think it's important to showcase characters who are flawed. What I think of? I think of Emily Blunt's role in Oppenheimer as a mother who doesn't want to be a mother, and it's similar to this role. It's a hard kind of tone to pull off, but I think she did a great job in this. All right, we got Steven Yeun. If you guys haven't seen the South Korean film Burning, you have to watch it.
Amazing,
mostly because of his performance, and he is amazing in this role. And he plays a character who is kind of like morally ambiguous. And as an audience member, you're following the lead character who is suspicious of this guy who just seems to be perfect. He's always so nice and respectful and polite. Everybody likes him, but there's something kind of off about him, and you can't really figure him out. And they insinuate that he has a very dark personality to him, and maybe he's done evil, terrible things, but you can't really determine what's truth and what's reality. And it all hinges on Steven Yeun, who he plays it perfectly, and he makes it look so easy. He's playing this guy who seems affable and carefree, and everybody gravitates to, but you're just like, what if these suspicions are true? And it's a movie where when I'm watching the acting, I'm just like, I don't know what's true and what's not true. Is he truly horrible, or is he really just like a nice, affable guy? And it's such a perfect performance. I think it's amazing.
I think when you're able to send the audience on a quest and thirst for the truth, and do they ever get the answers? It's up to them in a way. I think it's so fascinating. It's so hard to do, and I think they nailed it with that movie.
What an ending.
Oh my gosh, the last 10 minutes is shockingly good. I want to talk about Sam Rockwell in a little indie film called Moon, directed by Duncan Jones. Sam Rockwell really shines in this film. He plays a character on the moon who's in charge of a facility that mines the moon for resources. However, a doppelganger shows up and things get weird. But his performance...
I love that description.
Things get really weird. His performance is incredible because at first he's just interacting with an AI computer. But then this doppelganger, who's exactly like him in every single way, shows up. But he's fitter. He's better mood. Him personally is starting to deteriorate. And it's an incredible role. I wish he got recognition for this performance from the Academy or from anyone, because it's that good. It's an Oscar, I think, worthy performance from Sam here, and it's one of my favorite of his entire career.
And this was, I mean, they were using filmmaking tech that had not been proven yet. This was like prototype kind of filmmaking technology, and Duncan Jones was very nervous, especially the first day they had to film two Sams on screen together. He said everybody was on edge on the set because nobody knew, is this for sure going to work? But the way they filmed it practically was they were able to see pretty quickly after shooting real time of two Sams on screen in the same frame.
Do you know how they did it?
Yeah, so they just used robotic cameras.
That's right.
Yeah.
Replicate the exact movements.
Exactly. Yeah. So Sam wasn't sure, Duncan wasn't sure, and the entire crew wasn't sure. If we do this, is it going to work? And then Duncan Jones, because I watched a documentary on this film in the special features, he said after they saw this first footage, the entire crew lightened up, and everybody was like, okay, it works. We can all relax and just start filming.
In addition to body doubles as well.
Exactly, yeah. But I'm talking about the first time you have two Sams on screen.
That's cool.
Let's talk about Gladiator.
I like how you rub your hands every time you're about to do yours. You're like,
I'm cooking, man. I'm cooking. Gladiator. Who in Gladiator is underappreciated?
Quite a few people, but
quite a few.
One specific.
But there's one in particular, and it's someone we quote a lot, and that's Oliver Reed as Proximo. I think this is really just one of the great performances of all time. Oliver Reed did not get to finish filming this. He died during production, but they did use a little footage from other scenes and a little CGI magic to put him into the breakout scene at the slave headquarters. Now, his performance...
Slave headquarters.
The barracks.
The prison.
The HQ. Maximus is at HQ.
Yo, HQ. Yeah, you guys, yeah. That's a fucked up way.
Oh, man.
Prison.
It's early. It's 8:42 a.m. I haven't had breakfast
You
yet.
wanted to do this early, man. Yeah, I'm just at the slave headquarters, clocking back in.
Punch out.
Forever servitude.
All right, let's get serious here. Oliver Reed. His voice, his magnetism, his monologuing in this movie is amazing. He's so good in this role, and he just is like, once he shows up in this movie, it's just like goes up another level. You didn't think it was possible, but this movie just keeps getting better and better as scenes keep coming out, and he's got such a great personality. I love his accent. He's got like one of the all-time great voices. It's amazing. Hearing that booming, gravelly, you feel the experience, you feel the weight of being a slave and being a gladiator. And him and Russell Crowe together is just, I think, magic on screen. And he's got some of the most iconic lines in this film. He delivers them with such gravitas and such power, and it imbues so much depth to his performance. And Oliver Reed's one of my favorite parts about Gladiator. And I think one of the reasons why it is a perfect film.
Very seldom are there actors or performances where it looks like that person feels like they're from a different time. Mm-hmm. It feels like Oliver Reed was taken from 190 AD and put into a movie. That's how good he is in this performance. He just doesn't feel like a modern human.
True.
It's incredible. I want to talk about Rebecca Hall from The Prestige. She plays Sarah. And the husband, obviously, of Alfred Borden.
Wife.
I mean, sorry, the wife of Alfred Borden. Now, if you've never seen The Prestige, I got to spoil this because it's integral to the performance.
Yeah.
Spoiling The Prestige here. If you haven't seen the movie, just here's your warning. So, obviously, Christian Bale plays identical twin brothers. They're not clones. They're identical twins, guys. It's a common misconception that I see all the time. And there's Freddie and there's Alfred, but they create one persona of Alfred Borden as well as their magician assistant tech guy who Fallon, they both swap playing. Now, throughout the course of the film, they share a relationship with Sarah. And obviously that line where she talks about how, like, oh, today you don't love me, but it makes the days that you say I love you and I know you love me special.
I got goosebumps.
Because obviously Alfred loves her, but Freddie doesn't. Mm-hmm. And so they're swapping roles. They're both playing Alfred depending on what day it is and what's going on in their lives. And one of the great tragedies, I think, of The Prestige that never really gets mentioned when people talk about this film is Sarah never understands that there are two people that are her husband. And it's, in a way, you could argue manipulation of the truth, but it's obviously their entire lives are their act, so they're living their act. That means that even their wife, even Alfred's wife, cannot know that there are two of them. It's tragic. It leads to her obvious emotional distress, which causes her suicide, is not knowing what's going on, really. Knowing something's off, but never understanding it truly or fully is one of the great tragedies of the movie.
And she was an unknown. I had never seen her in anything before. And Christopher Nolan is amazing at casting. And because you got huge movie stars, Michael Caine, Christian Bale, Hugh Jackman, and ScarJo. And then Rebecca Hall is such a standout in her scenes. And she, this was her big breaking out point. And Nolan really had the intelligence to cast her. Do you want to hear such a crazy thing about The Prestige that someone revealed to me? This movie just keeps revealing things. Do you realize the connection between Angier and Freddie and their deaths to their loved ones? So Angier and Freddie both die in the same manner as the woman they love.
Oh, yeah.
So Angier's wife died by drowning, and then Angier dies by drowning, and then Sarah dies by hanging, and then Freddie dies by hanging. Now, Freddie is not the twin who loved Sarah, but still, both their wives, they died the same way their wives died, which is just like, it blew my mind. It's insane. It's unbelievable. I can't believe it.
That's wild. I never actually put that connection together. That's pretty crazy. And
husbands and wives die the same way.
That's pretty crazy. I just want to double check because it's Alfred who gets hanged, not Freddie.
It's Freddie.
No, it's Alfred that gets hanged.
I disagree.
No, I'm literally looking at it right now. It's Alfred gets hanged.
No, Alfred's the one who loved Sarah.
Exactly.
And
he gets hanged.
No. I disagree with which twin it is. Freddie, the loose cannon one, is the one who gets killed. The wild one. That's why Alfred reuniting with his daughter is powerful, because it's really his daughter.
Huh.
And so Freddie, the loose cannon, the ScarJo, the one who loves Scarlett Johansson.
Oh yeah. Because he's the one line
exactly. I'm sorry about Sarah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about everything, because he fucked it up with Sarah.
Yeah, you're right. You win. Moving on. You got anything else to say? That's a great connection, though.
It wasn't. It was someone sent it to me. It was not. It's not mine. I can't take credit. But I was just like, unbelievable.
We got a lot more performances to get into. Let's get cracking.
Yeah, we keep fact checking each other.
Well, it's good to fact check.
It's good. Yeah, it's good.
Especially confusing movies. Ian Holm, incredible performer and actor, legend. However, I still feel like every time I watch Lord of the Rings: Fellowship of the Ring, no one ever talks about Ian Holm.
No one
as Bilbo. And I feel like Martin Freeman gets more attention as Bilbo. Obviously, he started 3 movies as him, but Ian Holm is sensational. Obviously, the cast is massive in this movie, in the trilogy. But when you look at the first film, he's very much kind of like a Hagrid-like character where the audience is sort of seeing the story through his eyes first, in a lot after the prologue. And I think Ian really sells the world, sells the environment. You know, he's like our surrogate storyteller for like 30 minutes. Because Gandalf comes in, and Frodo and everyone's there. But I think it's really Ian Holm in the first act of Fellowship of the Ring that really, in a way, make this movie so believable for the audience and really helps immerse us.
If you think about it, Bilbo is the most important part of the Hobbiton sequences. And because he's the one we learn about the ring through, it's because of him. And so once he leaves the Shire, then Frodo obviously becomes the most important character. But it is, you could argue it's Bilbo more than any other character you see in the film for the first 30 minutes. He's the most important part of the story. Great point. You
Thanks.
put this on this list, and I gotta agree. Also, Alien. Ash is a goddamn robot.
I mean, he's got so many great performances. Fifth Element.
Yeah.
Ian Holm's a legend.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about Michael Keaton. Great, legendary actor, many decades of amazing work. But he has an outstanding lead performance in The Founder, which depicts the creation of the franchise system in fast food. And he plays a character who, you know, as an audience member, you love and then you hate at the same time. Because he had a brilliant idea and he created something that really changed the world and changed the food industry. He had such an incredible vision, but also he takes what he wants with no regard for the effects it has on other people.
Yeah, he's basically like hoodwinking people.
Exactly.
Like the brothers, the McDonald's brothers, he takes advantage of them.
Yeah, he absolutely, and also with the woman he loves in the film, he's someone who just takes what he wants, but he's a person who's so invested in what he's doing, and he's on a journey. He has a goal, and he's willing to do anything. And in a way, you kind of you can't help but commend him for what he's doing, because he sees something brilliant that nobody else sees. It's a complex role, and Keaton has so much dialogue in this movie, so many monologues, and he sells every second of it. I thought it was the best performance of his career.
John Malkovich is next for his performance in a hysterical Coen Brothers movie, Burn After Reading, as Osborne Cox. This entire film is full of, I think, underrated, underappreciated performances. You know, whether we're talking about Frances McDormand, George Clooney, Brad Pitt, everyone is sensational. J.K. Simmons. Malkovich, though, is so funny, and he's just a guy that you just don't like at all, but his character is so ridiculous and hysterical. He's got great dialogue in this movie, great energy. In a way, he's sort of a repulsive character to watch, but you can't take your eyes off him just because of his actions and his behaviors. And I think he's just sells every frame and second of this movie. Tilda Swinton as well.
Yeah. Well, the thing is with this movie, all the other actors get the attention, but they all work because of they're bouncing off of John Malkovich. That's why we think he's the underrated, underappreciated role in this film, because everybody talks about the other roles and the intention, Brad Pitt and Tilda and everyone else in the film, but they only work because they're bouncing off of John Malkovich's character and his performance, and so it all rests upon, in a way, his shoulders, if that makes sense. All right, next up we got James Caan in Michael Mann's stunning debut feature film, Thief, and he is one of the coolest, badass, don't mess with guys of all time. And it's also a complex role. He plays a longtime thief who's trying to get out of the game. He's trying to build a family, but he's being forced into working for the crime boss who doesn't want him gone, because you're making me a lot of money. I need you. You can't quit. And it's really cool because he's this guy who, he's not just quitting to just go retire and live on an island. He wants to quit. He wants to have a family. He wants to have a partner. He wants to settle down. It's not about just living off his riches. And so you can't, it's like a really incredible, touching goal that he has, but he can't do that because of who he is and what he's stuck in. And he's got so many great roles in iconic classic films, but this, you can't deny, is probably his best work.
Naomi Harris is next for her performance. She's Oscar nominated for Moonlight, but 28 Days Later as Selena, I'm sorry. Selena is Underworld. Selena! She is sensational. She's a character that once we meet her, she's already a killer. She's already basically left humanity behind, and just her goal is survival, and that's it. And she'll do it at any costs. She'll leave anybody behind. It's basically De Niro in Heat. If you can't walk away from anything in 5 seconds flat. And she looks at anyone, if they can't take care of themselves, as baggage that'll slow her down. And Jim, at first, it's exactly what she looks at him as like. But eventually, Jim is able to help her reconnect with humanity, and they fall for each other, and they rescue each other multiple times. And I think it's a really powerful transformation for a character who's already gone through a drastic transformation before we've met her, but then to go through another transformation to get her humanity back. And she's excellent.
She helps the film work, man. She really does. And once she shows up, she brings so much life to the screen, and I love her in the movie. In terms of horror performances, no one talks about her except for us. All right, let's talk about No Country for Old Men. We got Josh Brolin as Llewellyn. And Josh is really the glue of this movie. And obviously, Anton Chigurh with Javier, and we got Tommy Lee Jones, Woody Harrelson, Kelly MacDonald. Great performances, great acting in this movie. But Josh really, I think, is underappreciated because he plays a stoic character, he plays a quiet character, and he plays an unassuming character. Someone who, he's not attention-seeking. He doesn't have these big monologues. He doesn't have the show-stopping moments that you see in many recognized roles from iconic performances. But what he does do in this film is he really makes you feel like this is a guy from this area. When I had very little exposure to Brolin, seeing him in American Gangster. I mean, we didn't really realize who he was, even from the Goonies. And when I watched this film, I was like, this guy just feels like he's from this time period. And he really does feel like he was plucked from that area, that year. And I think he just sold it every second, hook, line, and sinker. He's really an incredible performer in this movie.
Another great performance early in his career, John Leguizamo as Benny Blanco in Carlito's Way, a great Pacino movie. You know, Pacino's the protagonist, but Leguizamo plays Benny, who's this great drug dealer from the Bronx, hungry for power. He has partnerships, or he's trying to create partnerships with Carlito in the film, but, you know, his temper gets the best out of him sometimes. The film, I don't want to spoil what happens, but betrayal is involved. And it's this great this great character who's involved in this endless cycle of violence and crime and ambition, which all kind of connect together in a lot of movies that deal with drugs or deal with gangs and things like that.
Loose cannon, but he's really stylish. He's really cool. The accent's great. And this really, this is a great film from De Palma, underrated in his filmography, but love it. Next up, Ben Foster in 3:10 to Yuma. One of the great villains of the last 20 years. Honestly, he's so good in this movie.
And he's the second villain in it.
Yeah, and he's the second villain. Ben Wayne, I mean,
Wade.
Ben Wade is the main antagonist of this movie, played by Russell Crowe. But I mean, Ben Foster as Prince, the Prince. Holy shit, he's dangerous. He's calculating. He's cold. He's murderous. He is someone you do not want to mess with. And I remember when we were watching this movie when it came out, we were obsessed with 3:10 to Yuma, and we were crazy about his character. We were like, "Oh my god, this is like the coolest performance. He's fucking insane. It's crazy," and I really love it. I think he's outstanding in the role. He deserved a lot of attention, but unfortunately didn't get much. Obviously, from the industry, everybody saw him, and he was able to get into a lot of great movies. But he's so good, in this movie. If you want to see a great villain, watch 310 of Yuma, the Christian Bale one.
He brought such a great modern contemporary attitude and this evil sort of charisma to an outlaw, that a character that's been done 1,000 times, especially in Hollywood's Western era. But he brought something new and spicy to it, and it was just delicious to watch. You know, him in this movie.
For a one-legged rancher, he sure is one tough son of a bitch.
Next, we have Michael Pena in End of Watch. This is a really cool movie, guys. David Ayer made this, and Jake Gyllenhaal also a really underrated performance in this as well. And it's a really interesting look at sort of what a sort of day-to-day would look like inside the lives of these partners, of these cops, but also infuse an outlaw mentality in them, like a cowboy gunslinger mentality of these two guys who, yeah, they're officers of the law, but they're policing the most dangerous parts of Los Angeles, so they kind of have to have this intense edge to them. And this edge gets them into trouble, but it's the only way to fight back against a lot of the dangerous things happening and criminals inside the community that they're trying to police. But Michael Pena puts on a terrific co-lead performance here with an all-timer here with all-time performer with Jake Gyllenhaal. Holds his own. His character's so funny. These guys are vulgar, they're raunchy, but their partnership and their brotherhood is really the emotional connection and heart of the film, which ends in tragedy at the end of the movie. And Michael is terrific.
Yeah, he just seems like an LA person. He really he got the accent perfect. And it's a humorous performance, but also he goes to the depths of the drama.
I'm sorry, I'm fucking robot over here. Is this AI talking? It is a humorous performance. What the?
Great job, James. You really spoke with depth about your love for End of Watch. Here are some more bullet points that you can talk about.
Michael Pena is very humorous in the film End of Watch. The fuck?
He's fucking great. He's great. Fuck you, man. Let's move on to our. I think it's time for intermission. Yeah, we got.
Yeah, I mean, okay. I say we got a few more.
Oh shit! Yeah, this is a big list.
I mean, we can take an intermission.
No. We got a few more.
We can cruise through the rest because we're taking our sweet time with the last page and a half.
John Goodman. John Goodman in 10 Cloverfield Lane. Unbelievable performance. Nobody had ever seen him do something like this before. And Trachtenberg, I think, was like this. It was a really unique casting and surprising casting. James is smiling because I struggled with Trachtenberg's name earlier today, but I got it right twice now, bitch.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But Cloverfield Lane, it's really interesting because it was like, is this a sequel? Is it the same universe? Obviously, yes, but Goodman plays this vile, dominating character who you're like, Mary Elizabeth Winstead she's trapped there because it's her only way to survive, but also this guy's fucking crazy. Is he insane? Is he going to kill me? Is what he says true? Is there really an alien invasion? Is the world ending? Or is he full of shit? And he plays it so well.
Alana Haim, who is in One Battle After Another. Incredible performance, underrated, in Licorice Pizza. Obviously, as a band member of the band Haim, she's a very confident performer, but mostly musician in her career. But it was so cool, and I think PTA is just like you said earlier, but I can't remember which director. So great at casting.
Yes,
and whether it's authentic people to roles or whatever, you know, most people they're gonna get as famous as people as possible for their roles, but to take a mostly unknown person outside of the music world and make her the lead of your movie, it's a bold thing to do. But obviously he saw something special in her and knew her and has done music videos for Haim for years. Obviously he thought, like, there's a role for her. There's a movie that I can put her in that will work. And it just fits. And she's really great in the performance. She doesn't act that often, but as the lead in this movie, Licorice Pizza, she's sensational.
Very authentic.
Yeah.
She just felt like a human being. You know what I mean?
A lot. Yeah, they just felt like a human.
Yeah.
I get another AI answer over there.
Great response, James.
She felt like a human being.
All right, next up, we got Mickey Rourke in Sin City. Who carries the film? Mickey Rourke is insane in this film. He's, I think, everybody's favorite part of the movie. It was the catalyst of his big comeback in Hollywood. He's the coolest guy in the movie. Everything hinged on his role working. And man, I just love watching him in this role. It's great.
Jack Lemmon.
Yes.
Let's talk about Jack for a bit, because I've actually seen 2 of his movies that I had never seen before in the last few months. Both The Apartment, but also the movie we're going to talk about right now, Glengarry Glen Ross.
Mm-hmm.
Both have been on my watch list for years. Finally got around to watching them both like a month apart. And I thought it was really fun because I watched The Apartment first, and then I watched Glengarry Glen Ross. And what a performer this guy is. And obviously he's much younger in Billy Wilder's movie, 1941, 42, something like that. And then Glengarry Glen Ross, which came out,
51.
I believe, in the 90s. Obviously,
The Apartment was 1960. Yeah, 60.
Sorry, I don't know why I said 40s. But obviously, and then Glengarry Glen Ross, he's much older. He's an older actor. And so it's really interesting to see a young, great performance and an old, great performance from the same performer. And he's sensational in both, but Glengarry Glen Ross, he very much is a character in this 5-person ensemble that carries a lot of emotional weight as well as desperate conflict of these guys. If they don't make a sale, they're going to get fired. And whoever gets if you get the top sales part, you're going to get your job guaranteed in a car. So they're all kind of like, oh, there's nothing I can do. I've been trying my best. Like the sales pitches are shit. They're not working. And so I think there's an Office episode that's kind of like this where they get the new leads and they're all fighting for the leads. That's basically Glengarry Glen Ross is fighting for these new leads. And his character shows what you'll do to succeed for any desperate measure. You'll take desperate measures, but also at the end of the day, it's kind of all inside of you if you can get that motivation. But it's a character who's older, but in a lot of ways, the most childish of them all.
Yeah, he's like worn down by the time the film starts.
Yeah.
By his job in his industry, and that's why like he's not doing well because he's lost like the motivation to really push it to get to sell to close clients.
This is one of those movies, Glengarry Glen Ross. There's like 3 locations.
Yeah, the bar, the office,
street, and the office.
Street. Yeah.
That's pretty much what's going on in this movie. It's that incredible that for an hour and 50 minutes you're locked the fuck in.
You know what you're gonna watch now? Some Like It Hot.
Some Like It Hot.
Make it your next one to watch.
It's been on my list for a while.
He's great in it. All right, next up we got Lakeith Stanfield. And his breakout role in Get Out, which I think was, he's got a small amount of screen time. But he is so good in this role. He's playing 2 characters. Think about it like a role where with only a small amount of screen time, you're playing 2 people.
That's cool.
I can't think of something else that's really been like that. And he kills it. He sells the opening. He's got his charm. He's got charisma. You really like the guy right off the bat. He's kind of funny. And then the next time you see him, it's like completely different because he's a white dude inside of his body. So now he's playing this really polite, old, crazy white guy who's taken over the body of this young man. And then when the break happens, he's got a few seconds left, and all he does is try to help the next person he sees he can help. And I think he's really great in the movie. He plays it so well, and when you're watching the scenes, and Chris is like trying to figure out like what the fuck is going on with this guy. It's just, I think it was really precise acting, extremely controlled, and I think he knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, I love when he asks him, so how's the African American experience been for you? Oh, well, I'd like to say for me, the African American experience has been very good. And Chris is like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Like, okay, man.
All right, how about right here? We'll take our intermission.
Yes.
We still have like 25 performances left.
83, yeah.
An actor from The Dark Knight. We're going to talk about a Tom Cruise movie. We're going to talk about
Will Ferrell's on this list.
a Ben Affleck film. So many to chat about. We got some horror in there. But first, let's talk about how you can support our show. There's 2 really great ways, guys. You can either become a member now on YouTube. It's a new thing to join. YouTube memberships gets you access to episodes early, so as soon as we schedule it, you can watch it. Plus, bonus episodes we'll post there too. So go to our YouTube homepage, and you can join a different tier of membership, whichever one's best for you. But for as little as $1, you can be a member. Just like on Patreon, for as little as $2, you can be a member there. Patreon gets access to bonus episodes as well. But Letterboxd Recap is only available on Patreon, plus access to our Discord, as well as different kinds of memberships and perks like merchandise. So YouTube memberships or patreon.com/Raiders of the Lost Podcast. Great ways to help subscribe to us, financially support us. This is how we pay our rent and pay our bills, is those subscription services. So thank you so much to everyone who signs up for them. Another great way to support the show. 5-star ratings and reviews. You know it, guys. I'll read one in just a minute to immortalize somebody on the show with their incredible written review from Apple Podcast. But these reviews help us get seen by new people, help us chart on the podcast platforms, and add reputability to the show. In addition to that, sharing us with your family and friends is a great way to support us organically, spread our content, spread our episodes. We only get access to, early screenings, these exclusive events, press junkets, interviews, because people interact with our content on Instagram and TikTok, and vice versa, and Twitter. So engage with us, leave comments, share us in your stories. That stuff helps us so much.
Of course, this episode, like always, is sponsored by our amazing friends at movieposters.com. Use our coupon code Raiders10 to get 10% off all orders there, as well as the affiliate link that gives James and I a little cut of the action. Movieposters.com has a huge selection of pretty much every movie and TV show imaginable in their poster library. Look at that awesome Running Man poster behind James. Glenn's face looks really, really nice up there.
He's a very handsome guy.
They have all these amazing movies from 2025 coming out. We've had the luxury of just getting all these great posters that we always litter around the set, and our home is decked out with these posters. It's a great way to express your love for film. My favorite movies from... Hold on. Here we go.
You good?
Posters from my favorite movies decorate my walls. I got, The Great Escape, The Color of Money, Parasite, Vertigo. They're all over my walls. I love them. And you can find everything at movieposters.com. Sizes, framing, backlit posters, international, cool art designs, everything you can think of. Movieposters.com is great quality, great prices, and great service. Made better. I'm all over the place. Made so much better.
I think you just got to stop talking at some point.
Our coupon code Raiders10 always gets you 10% off, and the affiliate link.
Let's get through the intermission and see if Anthony can get his brain back.
It's been a weird morning.
It has been a weird morning.
Take it away.
Movie quote competition time. You ready?
Yeah.
If you want to be president, you can start a war, you can lie, you can cheat, you can bankrupt a country, but you can't fuck the interns. They'll get you for that.
The Ides of March.
The what?
The Ides of March.
Yeah, there you go. Or was that? The Ides of March is correct.
That's a good one. Here's my quote. It was a 50-50 shot on whether you'd be going left or right. You see, we're both going left. You could have just easily been going left too. And if that was the case, it would have been a while before you started getting scared. But since you're going the other way, I'm afraid you're going to have to start getting scared immediately.
Stuntman Mike.
Nice.
Death Proof, baby. Woo! Very underrated Tarantino movie, in my opinion. Guess this movie release year. W.
2000. It was right after No Country, 2008.
2008 is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Josh Brolin as George W. Bush.
Oliver Stone film. What year did Escape from New York come out?
1985.
81.
Wow.
Right before he made The Thing.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was after The Thing. Wow.
You were wrong.
I was wrong. Movie pop quiz time. Thanks for letting me know I was wrong. Which U.S. president has Anthony Hopkins played?
Oh, this is a good question. I'm going Richard Nixon.
Richard Nixon is correct in the
Yes.
film Nixon.
Yes. Good question.
Thanks.
Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell starred in what film together?
It's clear you're going Kurt Russell.
That was the theme, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going president. Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell.
I got him, guys. He's total. Look at that face. He's lost.
I am lost.
Yeah.
Judge Dredd?
Incorrect.
I have no
No,
idea.
they're like co-leads. Like they're both on the poster.
I don't know.
Tango and Cash.
Oh, I forgot about that movie.
I watched it the other day.
Good buddy cop.
It's just a fun 80s movie. It's so 80s. It's so 80s buddy cop. It hits all the beats.
Nice.
But it's super, super silly and ridiculous. But, man, it was just fun. They're great together.
All right. What do you got for unsubscribes? I'm going to pull up a 5-star written review.
Sean wrote, if they do a redo of Now You See Me Too and they don't take advantage of the F2 sequel title, I will unsubscribe. To Now To See Me. Why not? Was that an alarm?
It was. I'm sorry.
Oh, my God.
I said it last night. It was
I'm in the middle of something.
Maybe I'll set another one.
All right, this is for me. From Vic Matthews. Wow, Galinda? Guys, it's Glenda. Glenda!
Did I say Glenda?
From Wicked. For that, I have to unsubscribe.
Whoops, sorry.
We both said Galinda.
Sorry.
We were way off. Here's a great one. Turn the gas off. I fell out of love with movies around 2010, but you guys were highly recommended to me, so I pulled my 1,000 plus movies out of the attic and started watching and collecting again. Thanks again for making me fall in love with films.
You're welcome.
Thanks, man. That's so sweet. I'm happy to hear that. All right, Joe Emerson. Spoiler alerts for Wicked. Curly-haired guy becomes the Tin Man, not the Scarecrow. Jonathan Bailey's character becomes the Scarecrow, not to be confused with Scareface.
That's someone who listens to the show regularly.
Scareface.
That was you, but
Ibarra. I should have bought Batman in 1979 instead of not being born yet. Ruined my day. Unsubscribed. Sorry, Ibarra. Missed opportunity for not yet being alive. Joe Emerson. Guys, noir is pronounced noir, not noir.
that's Anthony, guys. That's Anthony.
I don't know what you're talking about.
For years, I've been trying to get him.
I just said noir twice.
Yeah, it took 2 years to get you to say it right.
I still say it wrong. That's something. My brain just can't work that word out, man.
Noir.
I'm telling you.
Film noir.
It just can't noir. You know it's noir, James.
Huh?
Film noir. Noir.
I've been saying it right the whole time.
Say it.
Film noir.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
You're the one that for like literally years.
I never said I didn't. I'm just saying sometimes you say noir too.
It's not true. Not true at all.
Noir. Anyways, that's it.
Okay. Great 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts from Jack Friedman. Best podcast ever, 5 stars. I've listened to your podcast for a year now, and it has completely replaced music in my runs. Jack, that's amazing. I hope you're running right now.
Keep pushing.
While you're listening to this.
Run.
You can make it. Come on, man. Pump those arms.
What's your number one tip for running, James?
My number one tip?
Yeah. If you're going to give a number one tip for running.
Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. It's hard at first, but once you figure that out and you can train your body to do it, you can run way longer and way faster. It's
Great
better, more oxygen. It's
a great tip.
Humidified air. That's how you're supposed to breathe. You shouldn't mouth breathe when you run. Just exhale through your mouth. But
Hear that, pal?
In through your nose. I'm sure he knows by now. All right, let's get. Oh wait, so we gotta do our streaming recommendations. As you know, I've been doing a president-themed intermission.
Let's hear it.
Now, my streaming recommendation to stay in the president theme is Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer. On the most accurate biopic
It's
on
ever
Disney
made.
Plus, Hulu. Yeah.
Forget Daniel Day-Lewis. Oh, man. I chose... I saw TV Glow on Max. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
You did that like 3 weeks ago, bro.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I did not.
Yes, you certainly did. You certainly
Pull it up.
did.
When we finish recording, I want you to pull this up.
I don't know exactly which episode it was in, but you did it like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, I asked for evidence, and I can't.
We're
bring up
literally
the
recording.
Oh.
There, I mark everything you say in a journal of.
Sounds like
where,
it. I mean,
when, and how you
seem
said
very
it.
certain.
I just remember you saying it.
I don't remember it.
Anyways, let's get back into underrated performances and kick off the second half of this episode with Rebecca Ferguson from Dr. Sleep, who plays an incredible villain. This is a great book. I was very skeptical of the film when it was made. I refused to watch it for a few years because I didn't want to. But then I finally came around to watching Mike Flanagan's film, and it's excellent. And Rebecca Ferguson is a standout in this role. This is right before she hopped in for Mission Impossible, I believe, or was it after?
After
Mission Impossible.
After the
Rogue Nation.
Ghost Protocol.
She's so good in this film.
Yeah.
Basically a vampiric character who consumes the life force of people, and she leads
Of shiners.
this clan of people. Well, they're not exactly shiners because they're more they're a different kind of monster, but they can use shining.
No, they take the life force of shiners.
Oh, it was life.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought you said she was a shiner.
I did not.
Got you.
I did not.
But she leads a crew
Yes.
of other vampiric-like people that consume their life force.
Correct.
It's excellent.
You know who else is excellent? That's Aaron Eckhart in The Dark Knight. Obviously, like, it's Heath Ledger gets all the attention, and deservedly so, but Aaron Eckhart is really good in this role as Harvey Dent. I always thought he was, like, really fantastic. It's way more understated at first, but then he did an excellent job with Two-Face. He did a great job getting the audience to really love him, get behind him as Harvey Dent, Gotham's White Knight. And then his fall from grace, I mean, I think he did an outstanding job. He really immersed himself into becoming a different facet of the character of Harvey into Two-Face. And I think he really is, like, very necessary to that film working, and he knocked it out of the park.
Spoken like a true politician. You'll be most useful, Pius. It's Deathly Hallows Part 1. No, he's great. He's great as a politician.
I was like, what is he referencing?
Maybe too deep of a track. No, but Aaron Eckhart's awesome. And it's a common misconception that Matt Damon was offered this role of Harvey Dent. He was never offered it. He was just contacted by Nolan's team to consider potentially being part of the movie or reading for the role. He never was offered the role of Harvey Dent.
Thank you for clarifying that.
I'm glad I could. It's a big lie that's going around, man.
I've said that lie. I thought it was real.
I've seen that Instagram post, and I made that lie as well.
Yep.
But yeah, Damon was never offered the role. He was just contacted, but they never got back to him. Michael B.
He
Jordan.
tried calling Nolan, but there was no phone.
No, Matt Damon's team never got back to Nolan's team.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was just busy. I think his agent was like, yeah, he's literally filming. He can't do it. Michael B. Jordan, Fruitvale Station. Incredible film from Ryan Coogler here, based on a true story. Michael B. Jordan was, I think, a rising star in Hollywood at the time, most famous from The Wire. First season of that show, he's really excellent in that. But Michael B. really stands out as a lead in Fruitvale Station, and immediately, first time I saw this movie, I was like, this guy's going to be a star. Michael B. Jordan's going to be a star, and obviously he became one. But Anthony and I saw this together back when it came out, 2014?
Something like that, yeah.
A while ago.
Long fucking
And
time.
Anthony cried for about 40 minutes afterwards. I'll never forget it. He couldn't stop crying.
I did.
It was a very emotional film. But
It was like, I think 2012.
a while
It was
ago.
before we moved to LA.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It was before
that
we moved to LA.
landmark
We
in
were
Waltham.
living in, we were living on Barton Street in Waltham.
Yeah. On 23
23 Barton Street, right near NY Pie.
All right, next up we got.
We don't live there anymore.
Yeah, don't even go looking for us there. We're not there. Next
How
up,
many people are going to Google that address?
Google it. That's where we used to live. Call Me by Your Name featured obviously the big breakout for Chalamet, but Michael Stuhlbarg is unbelievable in this movie as probably the best dad ever in film. He's great, and he has some really great mentorship moments, these great moments and nuggets of wisdom, and most notably the big monologue at the third act of the film when when Elio's struggling, and he brings so much warmth and kindness and soft strength and attention as a father in this film. And I mean, he's a character that you're just like, he's so lovable. Like this guy is just like a positive energy, and he always says the right thing. He's someone who clearly has learned from mistakes of his past. He does have, You can see that there's definitely some regret, but he doesn't hold on to it anymore. But he recognizes it, especially in that monologue. But he doesn't let it hold him down. But he's learned from the lessons of life, and he's someone who he's like a wise figure in a big like fantasy movie or whatever that you'll see all the time. But he's just a real person, which I appreciate even more.
Great breakdown. Can you do the next one? I've never seen this film.
Elizabeth Moss in The One I Love. Spoiler alert, this is a big twist movie, and the twist is revealed at the end of the first act. So in order to talk about this movie without spoiling it, you gotta either skip ahead or you just watch. She plays 2 roles in this film. This is a doppelganger film, kind of. But she plays a woman in a marriage. Things aren't working out. And then her and her husband try something new with this new state-of-the-art technology. I actually won't spoil what happens because actually it's a really cool movie. You should watch it, but she's amazing. She's great.
That was a lot of build-up for a whole lot of nothing.
I was like, I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to ruin it.
Thanks.
Just watch it.
Tom Cruise.
Duplass is her husband.
Tom Cruise, we're putting him on this list. Duplass is actually on this list.
Nice.
But Tom Cruise in Collateral from Michael Mann. He doesn't play villains very often. He hardly does. But as Vincent, the second role he's done as Vincent, Color of Money the first time, in Collateral, he is one of my favorite villains of all time, and I don't mean that hyperbolically. He is incredible. It's so out of character and out of cast type for him usually, but he brings such a precision and just this crazy presence as this guy who will do anything to carry out his hits.
Anything.
And he's so clever. He thinks he's smarter than he is in a lot of ways, and he underestimates people around him, which leads to his demise.
Great point.
But he's a phenomenal character.
Guy Pearce is next in Memento. Amazing performance. It's a complex film, we know, and a complex role. He does a lot with this. There's so much range. There's so much information that he gets across to the audience, but he always keeps it interesting. I like the characterization, and I think this really was a standout in his career. And, man, he deserves all the praise for this.
Phantom Thread is next. And we're not going to talk about Daniel Day-Lewis. We're going to talk about Vicky Krieps. What a sensational performer. Not only does she bookend the film, but she's holding her own against the most talented and accomplished actor in the history of cinema. In the history of acting, and frankly. And she's quite younger than him in the film. And less experienced of an actor. But there's something about with PTA, he knows how to bring in young talents and put them against the best actors alive. Whether it's Paul Dano in There'll Be Blood, Vicky Krieps, Phantom Thread, and they make it work. He makes it work. And who knows what it's like being on set with Daniel Day, outside of what we know from interviews and stuff like that. But, man, she really is fearless in this performance, because if I was an actor or an actress and I had to act alongside Daniel Day-Lewis every day, I'd be fucking shitting my pants. But Vicky makes it seem so normal and so easy. She's sensational.
Yeah. Great. Well done, man. Well said.
Thanks.
Well said.
She feels like a human.
Great statements, James. Here's some more ways you can discuss Phantom Thread. Next up, Philip Seymour Hoffman. We chose out of his entire filmography, Along Came Polly as his most underrated. Because everybody talks about all his other performances. They're great, but comedy's so hard. And Along Came Polly is a funny-ass movie. It's ridiculous. And his sequences, they're my favorite scenes in this film. He's so funny. He brings so much great improvisational genius. And it's just like a full realized character who you're just like, you know what? There are people like this in the world. And he just commits completely. I love him in Along Came Polly.
Yeah, I mean, Hoffman's a legend. And you could put so many of his performances on this list. I think Before the Devil Knows You're Dead, another great underrated Hoffman performance. But what's that movie he's in? I think it's a CIA film. He plays an analyst wears glasses. Harry Wilson's War.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Harry Wilson's War with
Something-
Tom.
I don't think it's Harry Wilson's War. He's really underrated in that, and that's a real life character.
He
Henry
I
Wilson.
think he was nominated for that though.
Was he? Let me check.
I think he got supporting actor nom, maybe.
Charlie Wilson's War.
War, yeah.
Yeah, but even though he's nominated in that movie, he's.
Well, the rule of this list, you can't be nominated.
I'm just saying. I was just adding to the list because that's another movie. If you've never seen, I recommend that for underrated Hoff performances.
Yeah, I love when he breaks the glass pane wall with the hammer.
Moving on, a Ben Affleck film starring his brother Casey Affleck in Gone Baby Gone, which was a very sought after character and role by a lot of people in Hollywood. Casey nails it, and he's really superb in this movie. He's a soft-spoken character who has intense moral fiber, and he'll stop at nothing to uncover the truth. And when he does uncover the truth in Gone Baby Gone, we won't spoil it, about this missing child, he makes the tough but right decision that destroys his relationship with his girlfriend and partner, played by Michelle Monaghan. But also, was it, when the movie ends, you wonder, was it the right thing to do? It's a really, I think, understated performance, but he's amazing in this movie.
Great twist movie.
Yeah.
Really crazy movie. Dev Patel is next on our list with The Green Knight from David Lowery. I think that he is incredible in this role. He fit the world that was created. He plays a character who we see him in old age, and then we see him for the rest of the film on his journey to power. And he goes on this amazing expedition. It's just like unbelievable. He's so good in this movie. I think he's really one of the talented actors of his age range. And this is definitely one, if you haven't seen, check it out.
Could do the next one as well. I haven't seen this movie.
Sally Hawkins in Happy Go Lucky. She plays this very just like happy go lucky means like you're always carefree, no matter what happens, you're positive. And she plays like a definitive version of that. She plays a kindergarten teacher. Life is a playground to her. She tries to see the good in everything and good in everyone, but just like everybody in life, she falls on hard times, and she encounters intense conflict, and she is challenged in such incredible ways to overcome and come out positive. But I love the role. This is the first thing I ever saw her in, and I was like, I love this actress. She's outstanding. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Mike Lee film.
Mike Lee film. Bruce Willis is next.
Yes.
We're going to talk about the Jackal. Plays a really cool character. Obviously, the more famous adaptation, it's been recently remade with Eddie Redmayne as the character, the Jackal, who is basically an assassin and master of disguise, hitman. Bruce brought so much fun to the role, as well as this insanity of where, we talked about moral fiber. This guy has no morality at all. He'll do anything. He'll kill anyone. And he goes through all kinds of methods to do it. And he's a great antagonist to Richard Gere in the film. They both have great anti-chemistry.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting way, I think, to put it. But Bruce, he's got such a great career. But the Jackal, I think, stands out as one of my more favorite performances from him.
It's a really interesting character, and he did a great job, and he got to play around with so many different characters, because the Jackal plays characters, so you get to see him really flex his acting chops, and he did a great job in this movie.
It's interesting to watch someone who gets so much enjoyment out of killing on screen. I think a lot of people are afraid to say that, but that's why serial killer movies are so popular.
I want to watch this movie. I haven't seen it in forever.
Same.
I want to watch it. It's been a while. All right, Simon Rex, in his performance in Red Rocket, Sean Baker's film, deserves to be on this list. He carries the movie. He's so funny and despicable at the same time. He's someone who's just like trying to like take advantage of everyone out of desperation, deeply insecure. He's so full of life and energy. There's a pathetic nature to him. I think this performance is just so incredible.
Let's get into Punch Drunk Love, another PTA film, because he's such a great character writer and he gets such great performances out of actors and actresses. Emily Watson plays the love interest of Barry in this film. Now, she plays just kind of like a normal person, but her and Barry have this connection that she can't help but pursue. despite the fact that she learns quickly that Barry's pretty fucked up. Because of his upbringing with 7 sisters, the emotional trauma and baggage that he carries because of that, as well as his lack of confidence at times. But this new love in his life gives him supreme confidence and strength and ambition, and he does crazy things because of her. And he'll waste all of his miles from getting these coupon codes from Pudding to go visit her in Hawaii out of the blue in the same blue suit that he's always wearing. And so I think that she adds so much brightness to this film. She has this very classic film quality to her as her character. A lot of the film feels like that at times as well. And it's this sort of oddball romance that she does a great job of selling with Adam.
She's so nice.
Yeah.
Such a decent person.
Very sweet and innocent.
Yeah. And I love the idea of she fell in love with a guy from a photo she saw of him. She's like, I need to meet this guy. Christian Bale, one of the best ever. His performance in Out of the Furnace, though, when we saw that film, we were like, oh, he's going to win the Oscar again. Didn't get any real attention at all. He's so good in this movie. It's a challenging watch. The thing with Scott Cooper movies is most people don't really enjoy them. He has actually pretty low ratings across his entire filmography. I think Out of the Furnace is an extremely underappreciated film, and what Christian did in this movie, I love the role. I love the performance. There's so many little minute details that he throws into everything. His accent work, his mannerisms, his physicality. He portrays the grief and regret. He's like this person who's lost his light, and then he's trying to just save his brother. It's a great role.
Next we have Essie Davis from The Babadook, Australian film, great horror movie, and this is the role I think she's probably most known for, and she plays a mother dealing with grief and trauma, and that's one of the main motifs of the film. It's a very powerful and personal performance. It's comparable to, I think, Toni Collette in Hereditary from the horror genre. She's carrying the film with great gravitas and emotionality, a range that not many people can do, and it's really impressive to watch.
Great pick. You put this on here. I was like, fuck yeah.
Can I say?
It's a great pick.
Can I say?
Emil Hirsch in Into the Wild, a really inspiring and yet tragic tale. And he really fully immersed into the character, and we had read the book, and watching him in the film, I think it was just perfect casting by Sean Penn. Outstanding job.
It's a great movie, great performance. Mark Duplass, brought him up earlier. He has a great role in the found footage film Creep. And the sequel is really good as well. And then the Creep tapes are a series that have obviously spawned from it.
I haven't seen those.
I haven't seen them either, but I've seen the 2 movies. And Creep, the first one's amazing. He's so great in it because it's about this guy who gets this job from Craigslist to be a videographer for a day for some dude in the middle of nowhere, and he goes and does it and stumbles upon Mark Duplass' character, who is a fucking psycho. But it takes a while to really understand what is going on in this film, and I think Mark really sells it. And he's a guy who's been in the industry for a while, does a lot of low-budget indie stuff, doesn't get a ton of recognition, but I think this role is probably the biggest thing he's done, mainstream-wise. And I think I wanted to put him on this list because I think he's a great performer, and this movie is really good.
Mm-hmm. Next up, Michael Shannon in Take Shelter, Jeff Nichols' second film. He is unreal in this movie. He plays a man who's suffering from schizophrenic visions of disaster, and he believes in an impending doom for the region, and he starts building a bomb shelter to protect him and his family, and everybody thinks he's losing his mind. He's spending all the family's money on building this bomb shelter, anticipating a huge storm of tornadoes, and it's a really challenging role. And there's a big show-stopping sequence. There's a storm coming, and ain't none of you ready.
No, one of you is gonna be ready.
It's a great scene, but really it's the character work and the quieter scenes and the more personal scenes opposite Jessica Chastain that I think really make this film work, and he's sensational.
Lena Headey, Cersei herself. Hasn't done too much film since her Game of Thrones role. But while it was going on, she did Dredd, which we talked about as a very underrated film. And she plays the main antagonist of the film. And she's excellent as, basically, it's very much like The Raid. She's the top of the tower, the top of the skyscraper. A drug pin king lord. Who's an addict but also a dealer, and also a ruthless general in a way of this entire building in this post-apocalyptic world. She's excellent, really interesting character. She's terrifying. But yeah, she's great.
Matt Damon's next in Air from director Ben Affleck. And this is a really great role. He plays the man who had the vision to sign Michael Jordan to Nike, and how difficult that journey was, and how, when you look back on it, it's crazy to think that it almost didn't happen. Very much didn't happen. And he's great. He has some great monologues in this film. I love the character because he has so much belief in himself and what he's doing, and he's up against all odds. And this is before Nike was Nike. They were struggling. It's crazy to think. It's a crazy story to see that such an iconic brand in collaboration with an athlete, like the one that started all of it, almost fell into bankruptcy of just being a running shoe. But it's a great film, underrated, and a great performance.
I've not seen the next film. Can you get in there, dog?
Anne Hathaway in Colossal. Do you remember the trailer? It's Anne Hathaway. There's a giant kaiju monster has shown up in a city, and Anne Hathaway realizes that it's moving. It's mimicking all of her movements.
Oh my god!
So for some reason she has a connection to this kaiju monster. If she turns, it turns. If she moves her arm, it moves its arm. And so that's the setup. And it's also got a great villain, Jason Sudeikis, who's also an underappreciated performance in this film as the villain character. He's great in it. But Anne Hathaway brought a lot of heart, comedy, and just the full range of emotions, and I think she's really outstanding. It's a really interesting concept. Really flew under the radar. Nobody talks about Colossal, but I thought she was great in it. And it's this crazy situation, and she sold it. It's like a crazy concept to sell, but it works because of her.
I've never seen this movie. I do remember it, yeah.
It's good.
Next, we have Peter Stormare in Fargo. Oh, man, what a good pick. Classic Coen Brothers movie. Sharing scene time mostly with Steve Buscemi in this film is great, but he plays one of the hitmen hired by the worst husband in the world to kidnap and not kill his wife, but eventually accidentally kills his wife. No, it does it on purpose. He's so funny because he barely says a word in this movie, and he's just constantly zoned out off in his own world, constantly just smoking cigarettes. And you always wonder what's going on in his freaking head. And
His looks.
What's he done?
Yeah.
What's he done before? He's done everything you can think of. But he's a ruthless killer, and he will not hesitate to act.
Yeah. I love it. He doesn't get. Everyone talks about Francis or Buscemi, but like Stormare is like, when I watch this movie, I'm like, this guy's terrifying. All right, Lorraine Bracco in Goodfellas. Everyone's great in Goodfellas. You got an iconic cast: Ray Liotta, Joe Pesci, De Niro. Everyone's amazing. But, Lorraine Bracco as Karen helps make the movie work. And she's just as good as the guys are. She just doesn't get the same appreciation and recognition, but we think she's right up there with their performances.
She's the only other character that gets narrating besides Henry.
Yeah.
She gets to narrate as well. Will Ferrell in Stranger Than Fiction was a great pivot out of his normal comedy routine to a dramatic yet funny role. But he's really great in this movie.
He brought it.
He really did.
Yeah.
And it's an emotional performance. It's very mundane at first and ordinary, but he makes it, from such an eccentric comedian, to make such an ordinary character feel so extraordinary. It's really great.
Everybody was like, what? Will Ferrell in a dramedy? But he worked. Bradley Cooper in Nightmare Alley from Guillermo del Toro. One of my favorite performances and favorite films of the last 5 years. Absolutely sensational work. His character's range is insane. I love everything about the performance. I think it really is one of the best of his career. and has received no love at all. But it's outstanding. If you haven't seen Nightmare Alley, please give it a watch. It's great.
Tree of Life, one of the best movies ever made, in our opinion. Jessica Chastain is superb in a pretty early role in her career. She plays a mother and a wife of a man who's increasingly becoming more and more distant in their lives. And she gets a lot of screen time in this exploration of just life. And a movie that dives so much into the entire existence of life, not just humanity, but our world. It's so interesting that a mother gets so much of the screen time as a life bringer in a lot of ways. And she's really terrific, incredible nonverbal acting, emoting so much with saying very little, doing her best in a position she doesn't really want to fully be in, trying to raise these kids with an overbearing husband and partner. But she's terrific, sensational, gorgeous, and stunning in the movie as well.
So I always looked at her, she's like a physical representation of grace and love. You know, she's so magnificent in that movie. Ben Affleck's got a role on this list, guys. The Last Duel. Fucking love him in this movie. He is so funny. He's a scene stealer. The marketing did not portray who he is in this movie. It portrayed him as like a cruel ruler, and he doesn't even have any dialogue. But when you watch the movie, he is sarcastic. He's funny. He's wild. He's a man in power who just lives life. He lusts and he does whatever he wants, and he's super charismatic and silly. He's got some really great lines in this film that just like are laugh out loud. I don't think he was represented well in the marketing at all, and he was a standout in the film.
Yeah, the tone of the film was not correctly portrayed in the marketing of this movie, and Ben Affleck's great performance is awesome. It's one of my favorite parts of the film, and it's one of my favorite roles he's ever done because it's so unique in his career, but he's super funny.
Come in, take your pants off.
Like, how do you not put that in the marketing?
Yeah, that would have, like, if people saw that they could have a fun time as well, it would have brought more butts to the seats.
Anthony Mackie is sensational in The Hurt Locker, guys, from Catherine Bigelow's Oscar-winning movie. Jeremy Renner, of course, got acting attention, Best Actor nomination, didn't win, but it blew him the hell up. Anthony Mackie blew up as well. They both became
no pun intended.
They both became Avengers. Who? Well, they didn't literally blow
There's
up.
a lot of stuff blowing up in that
in the movie. There's a lot, yeah.
People get blown up in that movie.
I thought you meant Anthony Mackie got blown up. In it.
No,
but they
both, about Bomb Squad.
They both became Avengers as well right after this. But Mackie is excellent in this movie. You know, he plays the leader of this small group of this trio who are taking care of IEDs and defusing bombs and trying to make them safe. And he's dealing with a wild card, James, played by Jeremy Renner, who's come into his group and after the death of their old partner, and he's just changed things up quite a bit. He does his own thing. Mm-hmm. He's, reckless, puts them all in danger, and he has to do his best to control him, but there's not much he can do, but he's great in the movie.
Yeah, Mackie's awesome. All right, Mel Gibson's next with The Patriot. I love this movie. I love this character. He's the performance is great, and it's a character that, it opens with so much love, and he's a family man, and he's obviously got a past that you don't even know about yet. But once his son's killed, and he opens up the box hidden in his bedroom with his old weapons in it, he just unleashes this fury and this rage and this beast-like warrior. It's unbelievable, and he does a great job with the action, but also with the heart of this film. I always, growing up, this is one of my favorite movies to watch. I think I just really enjoyed it, and Mel Gibson's great in it.
Matthew McConaughey, one of the movies that started the Reconnaissance, Mud. He's great in this role. He plays a criminal on the run, but it's a crime. The crime he committed, we all probably would have done ourselves. It's morally, in a lot of ways, justified. I won't spoil what it is because it's an important kind of twist of the movie. But what he did, if a lot of us were in his shoes, we probably would have done the same thing. And you can't fault him for that, but he did commit a crime. He's on the run, but he strikes up a friendship with these two young kids. It's very much a coming-of-age story. And McConaughey, I was watching this great interview with him the other day. He was talking about how he changed his career path because he was the rom-com guy. He was big and popular, making a lot of money doing that, but he was not emotionally and creatively fulfilled. And so basically what he did is told his agent, told his managers, no more rom-coms, no more. And he's getting calls over and over again. People, we want to offer you this. We will put you in this movie with this other big actor. And he was talking about this one role he was offered. We'll give you $7 million to be in this role. He's like, it's a lot of money, but no, I'm not doing it. They call back $9 million. They call back $12 million. It goes all the way up to $15 million he's offered to be in a movie.
For one movie?
For one movie.
Oh, my God.
This is like 15 years ago. It's a big paycheck.
Yeah.
And he stuck to his guns. He turned it down. And he said he didn't get a call for like a year for a role. And he's like, oh, man, what am I going to do? Like, no one's ever going to call me. I'm never going to get a role. Again, I'm never going to work again in Hollywood. But then he said, eventually started getting these really interesting offers where people are like, oh, in the industry, like, oh, McConaughey's serious. He's not doing rom-coms anymore. You know what? McConaughey, he might be good for this role. Starts getting calls. Killer Joe. Mud's one of those roles.
Mud.
So he gets these really interesting roles to prove that he's really talented and he can do other things besides rom-coms, and he becomes one of the best actors alive right now. And I think that, Mud was one of those early roles that came in after he said, put his foot down, no more rom-coms.
That's also Mud, I believe, is the reason why Nolan put him in Interstellar, because Interstellar said he really liked McConaughey and Mud.
Yeah, but also in addition, he wanted like a cowboy kind of character, and McConaughey's a natural cowboy.
Yeah, 100%. That's cool, man. Emily Blunt's next on our list with another horror performance in A Quiet Place. She does so much in this movie. It's fucking insane. The stuff she goes through, the physical performance, the emotional turmoil. I mean, she goes through the ringer and then some over and over again in this film. She's such an impressive performer. I think she's one of the best doing it right now. And she's going to show up in Smashing Machine. I think she might get an award this time. But she's great, and I mean, she gets so much attention from the Oscar-y movies, but this is a great performance. Make no mistake.
Next up,
can I explain why I put this on the list?
No, hold on.
Right.
You don't have to explain.
Okay,
it's a great pick.
Okay, I'm glad.
Kenneth Branagh, who plays a character who is the winner of Which Weekly's Most Charming Smile 5 weeks running, Gilderoy Lockhart. You don't have to explain.
Yeah.
He's incredible in this movie. I've said over and over again, it's one of my favorite, and I think one of the best castings in the entire Harry Potter universe is Gilderoy Lockhart Kenneth Branagh is Gilderoy Lockhart. This is one of those roles where it's like, what are they going to do with the TV show? Like, Gilderoy is amazing as... Kenneth is amazing as Gilderoy in this movie.
You keep mixing them up because he's so perfect.
He's so perfect for the role.
But it's because, like, if you look at any list, it's always, Snape, Dumbledore, all the big roles, Sirius Black. Nobody ever talks about how perfect Kenneth Branagh is as Gilderoy, and I think that he deserves. I think he's on the same level. He's so sensational and captured the character so perfectly.
He's just so despicable and so unlikable, but for being in only one movie, oh my goodness, he's so fun.
Yeah, 100%. Oh yeah, my turn.
One more, last one, guys.
We have Chris Evans on this list, believe it or not, and it's because of Snowpiercer. He's really great in Bong Joon-ho's dystopian film. He's the lead of this movie. He goes through this crazy journey. He's got a horrific past. And, man, I really think that this is Evans' best work as an actor. And it's great because it's a great story. It's a great role. And, he was just breaking out with Marvel. He had done the superheroes before, Fantastic Four. So big action star. But man, this is such a challenging role, and I think he knocked it out of the park. I think he's great in the movie, and he works perfectly in the world.
I think you knocked this episode out of the park.
No, you did, man.
Man, that was fun.
That was good.
It's a lot of great performances.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are so many others. I would love to see people's comments on Spotify, YouTube, our Instagram, what you think are, in your opinion, the most underrated performances of what you didn't see or hear on the list, because there's still an endless list of
there's so many.
possibilities.
We're gonna have to do another episode.
Do 10 more episodes like this. But these are the ones that first came to our mind, the ones that we thought about the most and kind of seemed the most obvious to us. But man, that was a lot of fun.
I'm glad.
But hey guys, thanks as always for tuning into our show, Raiders of the Lost Podcast. Best way to support us, real quick, YouTube memberships you can join on our homepage. You get access to episodes early and bonus episodes. Patreon.com/Raiders of the Lost Podcast, subscription service as well. You get access to bonus episodes, the Letterboxd recap there, posts only on Patreon, access to our Discord as well as merchandise and stuff like that. Those are the ways we pay our bills, YouTube memberships and Patreon. So if you can support us in those ways, that'd be incredible. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews on Spotify and Apple. Engage with our content on social media, Instagram, TikTok. Do all of the things. In the meantime, take care.
See you next time.